Let me tell you that it gives me great pleasure to join you all for this release of this report, Key Sectors to Position India as a Global Manufacturing Hub. In fact, I was reading some documents where two questions have been asked. Is that one, can we actually become what we want to become without increasing our exports? And second is, why is it manufacturing doing well? Because India's growth model, agriculture is the lowest producing GDP as it should be. But then the difference between services and manufacturing, if you look at it, services is much bigger than manufacturing. Very good. But why isn't manufacturing doing better? I congratulate the Industry and Foreign Investment Division, Niti, our knowledge partner, CRISIL Intelligence, and everyone associated with the preparation of this report. I also acknowledge the contributions made by the central ministries, state governments, industry representatives, academia, and domain experts, whose insights have strengthened both the analysis and the recommendations present in this report. Now, the experience of development in most of the countries demonstrates that sustained economic transformation has been accompanied by a growth of manufacturing. Not only manufacturing, also exports. We sometimes talk about import substitution. If you're doing import substitution without a tariff or non-tariff barrier, then you must be competitive with what is being imported. And if you're competitive, then there is no reason why you shouldn't be exporting. You should be competitive not only in your domestic market, you should be competitive in the external markets as well. So I don't look at import substitution as anything but trying to be competitive. The discussion on manufacturing is often framed around increasing output. As you may have noticed, that output and GDP are two different things. Mr. Ahmed continues to remind me that in China there are various industries where the value added is not much, but output is a lot. That's how they start. So I wouldn't even focus too much on gross value added. And even output is good enough. If you're producing output, making a profit and selling it, then so be it. Then later you will go into other areas where the value added will increase. India's long-term growth aspirations will therefore require manufacturing to play a larger role. My simple example is, think of dining tables and 4 chairs. If all our households buy one dining table and 4 chairs, what does it do to the furniture industry? So there is a long way to go, no matter what. I mean, the secretary was talking about sophisticated chemicals, but anything that you think of, we need a lot more of what we are doing. So it's not simply about increasing the share of manufacturing in GDP. It's about building productive capacity, increasing productivity, improving competitiveness, and expanding India's presence in global markets. I was not being supercilious when I attacked Mr. Ahmed, saying I didn't see in my thing India mentioned anywhere among the top producers. He quickly corrected, said that the revised version has India in 3 sectors. Thank God for that. Otherwise, I would have chopped your neck off. The current opportunity and the challenge are enormous. The global manufacturing environment is changing. Supply chains are becoming more diversified. You must have heard of the China Plus One strategy. Firms are seeking resilient production locations, particularly because of geopolitical problems. And technological change is altering the nature of industrial competitiveness. The important question before us is no longer whether manufacturing matters. The question is where India should build competitive advantage and how it will Here I want to add one point. I know we are Niti Aayog. Our grandfathers were planning commission. The government is going to do some, but most of the investment has to come from the private sector. So our job, whether it is Secretary Chemicals and Petrochemicals or Niti Aayog or another secretary or minister, is to remove the impediment. Why isn't investment coming? What is the problem? What is the reason why we are not seeing private sector investment? Because I firmly believe that investment will come when there is profit. If they get a smell of profit, they will come. So we as government, policymakers, must remove all the impediments that are there in the businessman perceiving that there is a profit opportunity. And here also collaborations are important, technology needs to be brought, so we must be very proactive in getting foreign investment. Doesn't matter from which country, as long as it brings technology and capital. The challenge, many things have improved. There is Skill India, there is Atal Innovation Mission, the Jan Dhan Yojana. So the challenge now is to convert these improvements into sustained gains in manufacturing productivity and competitiveness. One of the key lessons from successful manufacturing economies is the industrial policy is most effective when it recognizes the distinct characteristics of different sectors. Different folks, different strokes. The problems in chemicals and petrochemicals may be very different from problems in textiles. And our job is to remove those problems. The basic idea of the government is to create a situation where investment fails and people see profit. Different industries face different constraints, whether related to raw material availability, technology, infrastructure, market access, financing, or integration into global value chains. Here I must say, Mr. Singh, the scale is a major problem. From whatever little I've learned after joining Niti Aayog, is that we are not trying to build things which can stand up to the Chinese scale, and economies of scale and scope both are very important in the industry. So I hope we'll give more attention to both economies of scope and economies of scale. Consequently, policy responses has to be differentiated across sectors. The ministries, and of course we stand ready to help you in any possible way that we can. We must diagnose the problem and solve it. It is precisely this approach that underpins this report. Rather than viewing manufacturing as a single sector, the report recognizes that each industry faces a distinct set of opportunities and constraints. And let me say in all humility that as government servants or bureaucrats or technocrats, we may not even be always correct. Think of 30 years ago, who could have said that the IT industry will become so important in India? So we are not precluding any industry. Whatever industry wants to come up is okay. But the industries that we know, the industries that have been identified here, at least let's pave the way for higher investment and increasing productivity in those sectors. The first volume focuses on chemicals, textiles, telecom and network equipment, and solar PV manufacturing. These sectors together reflect different dimensions of India's manufacturing ambitions, from export competitiveness and employment generation to technological capability and strategic resilience. But let me again, at the cost of repetition, sort of emphasize that what you must create is profit opportunity. Because I believe the businessman's dharma is to make money. I'm not questioning their patriotism and so on, but business has to be done, it has to be done on the basis of profit. So we must look very carefully at profitability of the different sectors. That is what will attract investment. hope this report contributes to informed policy making and serves as a useful reference for governments, industrial researchers as they work together to strengthen India's manufacturing ecosystem. I hope when I come for your meeting, Mr. Singh, 5 years from now, I'll notice that petrochemicals and chemicals have done very well. India has surprised the world. With that hope, I'll bring a long speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and providing valuable perspectives on the way forward. I now request Shri Upendra Gupta, Deputy Advisor Niti Aayog, to kindly give the vote of thanks.